Well, the Champions League draw, round of 16, has been finally confirmed, and we now know who every team is going to face. And today, I want to obviously put in a little bit of insight in what Arsenal has been drawn against this season of the Champions League. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. This is the football news show, and we bring you the latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned. Smash like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. It's the 18th of December 2023, and hope you guys are really doing great. And this is what we do here onto this channel, to bring you the latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned. And Rokani David is my name. You can as well call me RD. Arsenal has been drawn against FC Porto, and we're obviously going to analyze other draws. But first, Arsenal versus FC Porto. Now, when you look at Arsenal this season, they've gone ahead to obviously play 6 games in the Champions League. They've gone ahead to win 4, drawn 1, and lost 1. In the ones they won against Sevilla 2-1 away, 2-0 at Emirates. Then they beat PSV 4-0 at Emirates, and they drew away 1-1. They beat RC Lens at Emirates 6-0, and they lost away at RC Lens 2-1. You know, they've gone ahead to come out as table leaders, 13 points in the possible 18, meaning they dropped 5 points out of the possible 18 points, and they went ahead to obviously become the table leaders. And they've been really blessed with a draw to obviously face the likes of FC Porto. Now, for FC Porto this season, their match day 1, they beat Shakhtar Donetsk away from home by 3-1. Then later, they went ahead to host Barcelona. Barcelona beat them by 1-0. Then after, they went ahead to beat Antwerp. I think it's Antwerp by 4-1. They hosted it again in Portugal, and they obviously beat it by 2-0. Then Barcelona beat them in their Barcelona beat them 2-1 at in their stadium in Catalonia. Then that was match day 5. Then when we go to match day 6, Barcelona beat them by 2-1. I think that was the final match day. And finally, that is what they had to do. The last match that they beat they beat Shakhtar Donetsk by 5-3 in Portugal. So it shows you that they are really a very decent team. And even last time, the recently concluded Champions League of 2022-2023, they were knocked out at the round of 16 by Inter Milan, the finalists of last season. So it shows you that Arsenal are not facing a usual side, and this side is really very, 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 very heavy. And we look at the players that they really have as FC Porto. They have Taremi and Evanilson really doing great and leading that line. They play a system of 4-4-2 in most cases. They're having 2 Pepes. You know, you remember that Pepe that was at Real Madrid and Portugal? He gives them with what we call the experience. And there is another Pepe, right, that really went ahead to score against Barcelona. He's really a very decent guy, and he knows a lot. They're having Valera, Galeno, Estiquio. So they're really having a very beautiful squad, and they need to watch out onto that squad because it's really very, 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 very deadly. And they are obviously going to play, I think, Sporting Lisbon today. So it shows you exactly that this side of Porto is really very competitive, and they compete at all fronts. And if at all you need to know them, wait and see how Arsenal is obviously going to face them onto that day. But on the side of Arsenal have players that have gone ahead to win the Champions League in their squad. And that really makes it a different narrative altogether when they're going to play alongside FC Porto. And I would like to let you know that Arsenal are the favorites in this draw. Arsenal are the faves to win this tie. You know, Jorginho and Kai Havertz are winners of the Champions League, right? Then Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko have played in, I think, 5 consecutive seasons of Arsenal, with Man City in the Champions League. So I really feel very offended when I find a journalist or a pundit coming out and saying Arsenal lacks Champions League experience. Now, I've seen teams that have gone ahead to win the Champions League, but they always have like 1, 2, 3 players who have gone ahead to be having huge experience into that Champions League. And by the way, if it was experience that really won the Champions League, trust me, it wouldn't have gone ahead to take Chelsea close to 10, 12 years since Abramovich bought them to win one, because they brought in the Andriy Shevchenkos, the Hernan Crespos, they had Deco. They had very many players, by the way, they brought in through that had vast Champions League experience. But do you know that they lost to a side of Man United, that had only Gary Neville, right? Paul Scholes and Ryan Giggs, that had won the Champions League in 1999. Yet they had the Nicola Anelkas who had gone ahead, obviously, playing the Champions League, the John Terrys, the Frank Lampards of this world, they had a very good squad, the Didier Drogbas. But they lost to a side that had not gone ahead to get the experience they had in the Champions League like them. So I think Arsenal has some good experienced players. Those 4 only are really enough. And there are rumors that Arsenal are willing to strengthen their squad in the January transfer window that is left with just 13 days, or a fortnight to happen. So I give Arsenal the benefit of doubt, and I know they're going to knock out FC Porto, though one will worry a little bit according to what happened to Arsenal in the UEFA Europa League of last season when they went to Portugal and played against Sporting Lisbon. They drew 2-2. Now, when they returned to the Emirates, the game ended 1-1, and they went to penalties. Martinelli's penalty was saved, and Arsenal was knocked out. In that game, Tomiyasu and William Saliba got an injury. One will worry about that, but this is a different Arsenal altogether. Trust me, an Arsenal with Kai Havertz, whom you see that is going to hit to score his 3rd Premier League goal, and really confidence building up, it's going to be a different Arsenal. An Arsenal with Declan Rice, it's a different Arsenal altogether. And by that time, Julian Timber will be back. Thomas Partey will be available. If he doesn't go back onto the sick bay, Fabio Vieira, Tomiyasu will be back, and very many others. I think they will have a very good season, and FC Porto knows that they will obviously lose to Arsenal, and Arsenal is going to knock them out. And to show you that Arsenal can beat FC Porto, home and away, it's how Arsenal are levels against the side of FC Barcelona. When Barcelona was playing FC Porto, right? When Barcelona was playing FC Porto away, Barcelona won FC Porto by 1-0 on the 4th of October this year, and Barcelona even had a red card. When they came to the Catalonia to play against Barcelona, Porto scored first, but João Felix and João Cancelo went ahead to obviously come from behind and really win that beautiful game of football. So it doesn't look as you guys think it is. It's totally different affair, and trust me, it's not gonna be easy for the side of FC Porto. They need to work out a lot, They need to work out a lot, and if at all they don't, then they really lose out, because this Arsenal side is really the favorites to obviously win this beautiful game of football. Then look at Edu. Arsenal was represented by Edu Gaspar and Richard Garlick. This is Edu and Richard Garlick. You see him. There he goes in Switzerland this morning as the draw of the last 16 was being drawn. And to confirm to you the dates when these games are obviously going to be played, it has been confirmed that 13th/14th February, all 20th and 21st February, that's when these games of are going to be played. And there is March 5th and 6th March, all 12th, 13th, that is the second leg. So Arsenal might find themselves playing the first leg away either on the 13th or 14th of February or the next week of 20th to 21st February. Then the second leg for them hosting The second leg at Emirates will either be played on the 5th or 6th of March or 12th to 13th of March. Remember, the round of 16, teams play for 2 weeks. If Arsenal plays this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, there will be games. And even next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, there will be games. That is it. So, we wait and see how that pans out. But Arsenal, to me, are the favorites to obviously win that group stage. Now, we are having other games to talk about. Napoli, Barcelona, huge game, but huge game for Napoli and Barcelona, and I think this game can go either way. It can go either way, but it will depend on how Barcelona will be. If Barcelona will be having Gundogan, Frankie de Jong and Pedro in that midfield, then Lewandowski, Rafinha variable, trust me, Barcelona will have to put up a case onto the side of Napoli. And it's really going to be one of the most interesting things. But it's very hard to obviously talk about teams like those because you never know who is going to be fit in February and who is not, because Barcelona has been totally disturbed by injuries throughout. Then PSG, Real Sociedad, it's a tricky one, but I'll see PSG go through, by the way. However much Sociedad is going to have to put up a show, but PSG might obviously go ahead and obviously go levels, you know. Inter Milan, Atletico Madrid, I see Inter Milan knocking out Atletico Madrid, you know. I see them knocking out Atletico Madrid because I see Inter Milan doing some business in January, and I don't see Atletico Madrid doing some business in January. PSV and Heaven versus Borussia Dortmund. I see Borussia Dortmund going through. And Lazio versus Bayern Munich, obviously. Copenhagen, Man City. I've seen people register their cases that it's going to be very tricky for the side of Man City, but the Man City of the new year is always different from the Man City that ends there. So Man City will obviously go ahead and obviously knock them out, because I saw to it that Man United are going to hit obviously score 2 goals past them in a space of 20 minutes, and Marcus Rashford went ahead to get a red card. If it wasn't the red card of Marcus Rashford, United were going to boss them at that stadium. That is it. RB Leipzig, Real Madrid. Real Madrid is going to edge RB Leipzig. So, Arsenal fans, Taremi and Evanilson are really on fire, and I don't know how you guys are going to go ahead and really stop them. But all in all, it's a very good draw for Arsenal. You know, you wouldn't like to go in for teams like Inter Milan. I told you that out of these teams that Arsenal is supposed to face, there is no way you would like Arsenal to face Inter Milan. I think it's the toughest of all. So guys, thank you very much for watching through your reactions to Arsenal draw against Lazio. Are welcome in the comment section below. And who do you think is gonna go through out of the other draws I'm gonna hit to talk about? Rokani David remains my name. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. I'm out for now. See you later when you see me. But the living true God is with us, and the Muslims Barakallahu Fikum. And second video of the day, more is yet to come. And I tell you, we are really up for something big. Like the stories coming in through, the transfer news is really flowing in left, right, and center. Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to drop a very huge update as far as Calvin Phillips to Juventus is concerned, and so much more. Ciao, ciao.